always start with a problem because the market is already within our ecosystem.
Correct.
And we always saying a 90 million now. If including GCash, that's more than 100 million consumers, more than 100,000 B2B customers. And when I talk to companies that I'd like to partner with or even startups, that's basically my pitch. We have more than 100 million customers, more than 100,000 businesses in our network. What would you like to offer to them or to sell to them? Most often they're like a lot, like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that, etc. And that's great. But on our part, identifying the problem is the most difficult part. Even us, sometimes finding the solution is more difficult. But the most difficult bit is literally convincing the customer to pay for that solution. And sometimes Filipinos don't like to pay for a solution, right? We like
Freeloaders.
Oh, we like freebies, right? So how do we assess? So if the pain point is big enough and the math is super simple, and as mentioned earlier, there's this pain point. How often do you experience that pain point, right? Is it once a month? Is it once a year? Is it every day? Is it 3 times a day, right? And that number basically is a driver for the recurring business, right? You have a power pressure business. And I just told you, pare, balik ka sa bahay ko. But you did mine last year. Okay, so technically, it's a once a year thing, right? So do I like that? Maybe not, di ba? Not for us. We'd like to solve tough problems, really, really difficult problems, because as corporate, we know that we have the assets to solve it.
Correct.
Okay? And acquiring the customer is kind of there, but it's not then medyo sure ball, right? Because at the end of the day,
High risk.
it's there's still a risk Ron creating a solution is not a it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
It's not a sure thing. Sometimes the customer doesn't have the willingness to pay. Sometimes the customer experience is really mali, di ba? Or the user experience is not correct. And therefore, customer doesn't want to use it, but it's the right solution. And in a venture builder like us, that's the most difficult bit. Now, the advantage of a venture builder versus a typical startup is that we're backed by corporate. We're in the runway is a bit, patient. Unlike in a typical startup, you fundraise for X amount of money, and sometimes you'll just have 12 months. You don't have the luxury of literally just,
Got it.
testing and learning.
That's amazing, Vince. But half the problem, obviously, finding the customer and whatnot, I think, and similar to any startup that's being born out of, say, whether it's internally or organically, nasa labas, whether, hey, let's create a startup and whatnot, it hinges on getting the right people on board. And what I love about what you've been done, and I want to give credits to you. I don't know if you know this, but I built lifelong friends that I admire their geniuses and they're great people because I met them through you. Namely, specifically, number one of our best angels, Gretchen Largoza, who used to head AdSpark. Second, a really good friend of mine that I, because of him, I attribute this amazing product that we now are thriving on sa PNA. Cholo Tagaysay used to run or grew exponentially Consulta MD. But these are the types of people that you guys needed to create. Because you know the problem You have a thesis. You have the budget to do it. But what I want to find out are two things. Typically, founders are risk takers. They know all in and they want to get a big piece of the pie. How did you get the types of founders that can solve the problems that you guys were trying to solve in 917V, but also be okay with not having majority ownership to solve it? Because I saw the effect. Like right now, Martha's been killing it in GCash, right? How did you get them to buy in? In the end, there's not gonna be it's just not. You still get the glamour of being founder like CEO level exec, but you don't have majority pagdating sa cap table.
A lot of VCs ask me about that, right? Because obviously we have companies that we want to fundraise, right? And they'll ask about cap table, and so who owns it, right? So in every venture that we built, the founders basically 917 Ventures. Now asking about how do we look for these founders or teammates that will run our venture. People who know me, we don't scrimp on talent.
Yep.
Okay.
Nick Fury ka nga daw. Kayang mag-assemble ng Avengers.
But it's difficult. It's really difficult. I have a team who's been here since we started. The venture builder business, our number one asset, it's not the unfair advantage of Globe. It's not the more than 100 million customers of the group, right? It's really the talent that we put together.
Correct.
Now, I interview 100% of all of my employees. Okay.
How do you find time?
Well, we're not big naman. We're small. But I interview them. I spend so much time interviewing them. Hours. Minsan more than 2 hours. Just getting to know them. And I'm the last person to interview someone. Before that person parang gets a schedule with me, there are like 5 interviews already. And for me, when I interview someone, I kind of check on the skills part, but it's really more on the culture part. Parang, do I see this person to be the next leader diba, of our ventures? Is this person going to be the next CEO of a venture that will solve the toughest problem in the country? Can this person work with my team, right? Because the venture builder business is all about people. Without the people, I don't think we'll be able to solve the toughest problems in the country. And to solve the toughest problem, you need to hire the best one. Now, how do you attract them? Okay, hirap yan. So first, we latch on the purpose of the Globe Group, okay, which is basically to uplift the lives of the Filipino people. If you're aligned to that purpose, there's something inside you, oh my God, I want to help the country through technology, and therefore I want to join. So purpose. Number 2, we really allow our employees to be autonomous. Okay, as if they're their own company. Obviously, in the early stages, just like a child, you're basically hovering over them, right? Parang, hey, are you guys doing the right thing? You're almost like a helicopter. But at some point, when they spin off, they're basically on their own. And then they're accountable to all of their actions. And because of that one, they like working here. Okay. Obviously, they get payrolled, right? Unlike a typical founder, oh my God, your number one problem is am I going to make payroll, right? On the 30th. Here it's there, right? But it doesn't mean that they're just nakaupo, they're not working hard. No, they work hard. In fact, some of them like even work on a weekend because they believe in the purpose and the mission of what they're doing. And if you align all of those, not saying na wala pa yung incentives dyan, diba? They're gonna work well or give their best.
Inside Innovation, Stories from 917 Ventures is brought to you by HustleShare. To learn more about the hustle behind the venture builder, tune in to the full episode because there's more lessons to learn with every story.